August 28th, 2021. I finished a 24-hour live stream in which we raised over £2,500 for St Columbas Hospice. The goal for raising that much money? Complete Dark Souls. Now what makes this tale interesting is that I've never played a Dark Souls game in my life, and as someone who easily gets frustrated with video games, I knew this was going to be difficult and I was going to be here for a long time. The rules? Play once a week, every week, until I see the credits roll. Starting off, I got to grips with the basic controls. Running, rolling, light and heavy attacks, and blocking. Not long into things we got into our first boss, the Asylum Demon. As you would expect, we died. And then we learned about the wondrous traps of Dark Souls via this lovely boulder.
Are you fucking shitting me?
Then we died a basic enemy. As you can tell, things are not going too well, and this is going to be a long journey, but with perseverance, we will get there. And our patience paid off. We managed to defeat the Asylum Demon within 30 minutes of starting our Dark Souls journey.
Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up! No, fucking get up!
That rush of dopamine you get after being so frustrated and just having that relief of knowing you just overcome something you once thought impossible is something that over the next couple months I would feel sporadically. Our next wave of dopamine came not too much longer after meeting the Taurus Demon. This didn't come without its own deaths.
I didn't even get... No! That's fucking bullshit! No!
Which probably wasn't helped by the constantly disconnecting Xbox controller.
I swear I fuck controller.
But once we got used to how to roll around and dodge them, we managed to slay the demon and get to our next rush.
Yes! Get it up, you Taurus Demon prick!
It is after defeating the Taurus Demon and progressing that little bit further that someone in the Twitch chat gave me a little clue about a shortcut and thus showed me the true genius of the Dark Souls level design.
That's the bonfire I was at!
We're actually making some progress in a game I once thought impossible. What else is impossible? Beating a boss first try? Well, with the Moonlight Butterfly, it didn't happen either. 3 attempts? So it's not too bad, all things considering. Now, it was at this point of the story that we encounter our first frustrating boss, the Capra Demon. Remember how I mentioned Dark Souls had great level design? Well, this environment we have to fight the Capra Demon in is a complete and utter nightmare. We died over and over and over again for a total of 2.5 hours until finally we slayed the demon. This was hands down the biggest rush of dopamine I've had.
Yes! Fucking yes!
Honestly, after the Capra Demon, things were fairly straightforward. Nothing overly difficult, and with the help of Twitch chat, we were able to navigate the world without getting too lost. Bosses like the Gaping Dragon and the Iron Golem went down pretty easily. Never beat any of the bosses first try, but we did manage to beat them within a couple of attempts. The skills were developing, and I felt like I was becoming somewhat good at the game, or so I thought. Ornstein and Smough, also known as one of the hardest boss fights in the whole Souls franchise. The next 6 weeks I spent trying to defeat these two, but sadly to no avail.
Fuck!
I even ended up grinding out levels in the Painted World just to try and make things easier. Even after reaching a stupidly high level, I still couldn't defeat this duo, so I did what any other new Dark Souls player would do. I gave up. I honestly couldn't take it anymore. Loss after loss kept demoralizing me, and it was at this point I decided to take time off, otherwise I wouldn't be playing the game. Was not doing any good for my mental health, and if I didn't take a break, I would have given up forever. After a month's break, I decided to hop back on and see if I could take down ONS, and to my surprise, I managed to take them down fairly quickly.
Yes! Fucking beautiful, Liam! Let's fucking go!
Was my inability last time just a mental block? From the way I managed to take down ONS, seems like this was the case. I got the biggest hit of dopamine I'd ever received from this game. After 2 months of being stuck on ONS, I finally defeated them. But the good news wasn't over just yet. We were about to meet Gwyn and unlock something very, very useful.
You may now warp between bonfires! Oh! Yes!
Yes! I see what they mean by happiness. This is pure happiness. We can warp between bonfires. No longer do we need to travel on foot from one annoying bonfire to another. We can quite simply warp from point A to point B with no stress, no annoyingly frustrating enemies in the way. We can just teleport and warp. Thank you, Guinevere. I love you, and those are some massive titties.
What did he say?
After unlocking warp travel, it was now time for some cleanup. From here, we went around defeating some of the bosses we had yet to come across, such as the Ceaseless Discharge and the Demon Fire Sage. Now, the Demon Fire Sage gave me similar frustrations to the Capra Demon, but by this point in the game, I'll be honest, I just wanted it to be over with. I went online and looked up the best way to take this beast down, and thanks to a guide, wasn't long before the Demon Fire Sage was beaten. Once the Fire Sage was out the way, I decided it was time to start taking down some of the 4 Lord Souls. And where better to start than what some people call the hardest of the 4, the Bed of Chaos. In all honesty, it was probably one of the easiest bosses I've fought. Thanks to the Twitch chat, they kinda guided me through things. Yeah, we made some mistakes. But we eventually managed to defeat them. Gravelord Naito was another one that Twitch chat helped me with, leading me to defeat them pretty quickly. A somewhat awkward boss, but nothing too stressful. Now on to the third of the 4 Lord Souls, the 4 Kings. Someone in chat had asked me if I'd beaten the Great Grey Wolf Sith. I barely remember what I had for breakfast, never mind some of the names of these bosses. So we went to the area Sith was located at, and guess what? I hadn't defeated them yet. So we entered a battle, and after a few attempts, we managed to slay this huge wolf, unlocking us the Covenant of Artorias, which was a ring that allowed you to fall down and face the 4 Kings. Now, for those who haven't played Dark Souls, you won't know about the ghosts in the Londo ruins. And if you're like me and don't know how to hit them and keep dying due to this, thankfully I was streaming, the chat managed to correct my error and showed me how to hit them. After many failed attempts, we managed to get our way to the 4 Kings. This was not the easiest, but also not the hardest fight we'd had so far. Quite easy to get lost in infinite darkness. We have 1 Lord Soul left, Seath the Scaleless, the big ice dragon. Mate, fuck off! That's a fucking big dragon! Now, the journey to Seath was an interesting one. The path included frost giants, giant oysters, and invisible paths. The fight itself wasn't that difficult. The dangerous part? The fact that Seath can curse you, have and max your health. And yes, of course, I got cursed.
You didn't have to cut me off.
But after a few attempts, we managed to slay the final Lord Soul, leaving us just a single boss left in the entire game to defeat. One more boss and this game is over. If we can defeat Gwyn, then Dark Souls is complete. Something I once thought impossible, but now actually within reach. With all 4 Lord Souls in hand, we were ready to take down Gwyn. Did you notice when going over the basic controls, I didn't mention parrying? Running, rolling, light and heavy attacks, and blocking, because I never learned how to. As some of Twitch chat had told me, it's near impossible to defeat Gwyn without parrying. And after multiple attempts at defeating Gwyn, I had no success. Now, I would insert a training montage here, but I hadn't actually recorded any of the VODs, so here's a generic training montage for you. With the ability of parrying now in my arsenal, ooh, baby! Finally feel ready to take on Gwyn. And after multiple attempts, I managed to achieve something I thought I never could do. We're done. We've done it. I've completed Dark Souls. What's next? New Game Plus? Dark Souls 2? Well, by the time this video comes out, I'll be gearing up towards this year's annual charity stream. So, I mean, it kind of be poetic to make Dark Souls 2 a goal, right? Friday, the 26th of August, 2022, we will have our annual charity stream raising funds for St Columbas Hospice. Make sure to tune into the Twitch channel to help support St Columbas and raise as much money as we possibly can, and hopefully raise enough to make me play Dark Souls 2.